Mindset Hub Tube welcomes you. Before you scroll away, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the greatest opportunity of your life had been waiting inside you all along. But you never noticed it. Not because you weren't intelligent, not because you lacked talent, but because every day, doubt whispered louder than your dreams. Tonight, I want to tell you a story. Not about superheroes or billionaires. It's about ordinary people carrying extraordinary possibilities inside them. It's about a young mind searching for direction, an aging teacher who refused to stop believing in the future, and a nation whose greatest treasure was never hidden beneath the ground. It was hidden inside the hearts of millions. So settle in, because by the end of this journey, you may never look at yourself the same way again. On a rainy evening, a young engineering graduate named Arjun sat alone on a railway platform. His backpack rested beside him. Inside it were certificates, medals, recommendation letters, and dreams that suddenly felt worthless. Another job interview had ended, with the same polite smile. "We'll let you know." He already knew what that meant. The train rushed past without stopping, its powerful wind scattering newspapers across the platform. One torn page landed at his feet. Across the top was a single sentence: "A nation rises only when its people believe they can." He stared at those words longer than he expected. Was that really the problem? Not unemployment, not competition, not lack of resources, but belief. The station grew quieter. An elderly man sat beside him, carrying nothing but a small cloth bag filled with books. "You look like someone carrying a mountain," the old man said gently. Arjun forced a smile. "I'm just carrying disappointment." The old man nodded as if he understood every unspoken word. "You know," he said, "disappointment is heavy only when you believe it defines you." Arjun looked away. "It's easy to say that." The old man smiled. "No, it's easy to give up. Believing takes work." Those words stayed with Arjun long after the train arrived. Most people think success begins with opportunity, but opportunity rarely changes a life. Belief does. Think about a seed buried deep beneath the soil. From above, it looks lifeless, invisible, forgotten. Yet beneath the darkness, something incredible is happening. Roots are growing before leaves. Strength is developing before beauty appears. The world celebrates the tree. Nature celebrates the roots. Human life works exactly the same way. Everyone wants visible success. Very few are willing to develop invisible strength. That invisible strength is what transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Arjun eventually found temporary work repairing machines in a small factory. The salary barely covered rent. His friends posted pictures from multinational companies. Some moved abroad. Others bought new cars. Every evening he compared his beginning to someone else's middle. Comparison slowly poisoned his confidence. He stopped reading, stopped learning, stopped dreaming. Instead, he developed a new habit: scrolling endlessly. Hours disappeared without creating anything. His body remained busy. His mind slowly became unemployed. One afternoon, the elderly man from the railway station unexpectedly visited the factory. "I wondered if you'd started building your future." Arjun laughed bitterly. "I'm trying to survive." The old man picked up a rusted machine part lying nearby. "Do you know why machines stop working? They wear out." "Sometimes," the old man replied, "but often they simply stop receiving energy." He gently placed the part back on the table. The human mind is no different. You aren't tired because life is difficult. You're tired because your hope has stopped receiving fuel. Every generation faces distractions, but today's distractions don't knock on the door. They live inside our pockets. Minutes become hours. Hours become months. Dreams slowly become memories. The dangerous thing about distraction isn't that it wastes time. It's that it convinces you you're making progress while standing completely still. Imagine trying to fill a bucket full of holes. No matter how much water you pour in, it never fills. Knowledge without focus works exactly the same way. You watch videos, read quotes, listen to podcasts, save motivational posts, yet your life stays unchanged because wisdom enters one side of the mind and leaks out through the other. Real growth begins when information becomes action. The old man invited Arjun to visit a small village school on Sunday. There were no fancy classrooms, no expensive technology. Children sat beneath large trees, solving mathematics with sticks in the dirt, yet their eyes sparkled with curiosity. One little girl raised her hand. "Sir, why do stars shine?" Instead of giving the answer, the teacher smiled. "What do you think?" For the next 15 minutes, dozens of tiny imaginations explored the universe. No one laughed at wrong answers. No one feared sounding foolish. Curiosity became more important than perfection. Walking home, Arjun couldn't stop thinking. When did I stop asking questions? As children, we ask hundreds every day. As adults, we become afraid of asking even one. Because somewhere along the journey, judgment became louder than curiosity. And that is where countless dreams quietly disappear. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build every time you keep a promise to yourself. Every morning you wake up when you planned. Every page you read. Every difficult conversation you don't avoid. Every workout you complete despite feeling lazy. Brick by brick, promise by promise, identity begins to change. People often wait until they feel confident before taking action. Life works in reverse. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Months passed. Arjun developed a simple morning routine. Wake before sunrise. Walk quietly. Read for 30 minutes. Learn one new skill every day. Write one page about what he had learned. Nothing dramatic happened. No miracle arrived. But something far more valuable appeared. Peace. For the first time in years, he wasn't racing against everyone else. He was simply becoming better than yesterday. The old man noticed the change immediately. "You've stopped chasing success." "I think so." "What are you chasing now?" Arjun smiled. "Growth." The old man nodded proudly. "Now, success has somewhere to find you." One evening, electricity failed across the neighborhood. The entire street went dark. Children panicked. Shopkeepers complained. People searched desperately for light. An elderly woman quietly lit a tiny candle. It barely illuminated her own doorstep. Then another neighbor used her flame. Then another. Within minutes, the entire street glowed. The candle lost nothing by lighting others. Knowledge works exactly like that. Leadership works exactly like that. Kindness works exactly like that. Your light becomes stronger when it helps someone else find theirs. Many people believe greatness belongs to extraordinary people. History tells a different story. Greatness usually belongs to ordinary people who refuse ordinary thinking. A farmer who teaches his daughter to dream. A teacher who refuses to give up on struggling students. A nurse comforting frightened patients. An engineer solving problems nobody notices. A shopkeeper serving honestly for decades. A scientist asking impossible questions. A young student choosing books over excuses. Nations are not transformed by speeches alone. They are transformed by millions of invisible acts, performed with extraordinary sincerity. Every honest action strengthens the future. Every selfish shortcut weakens it. Arjun eventually received another interview invitation. This time he wasn't desperate. He wasn't trying to impress. He simply spoke honestly about what he had learned while repairing broken machines. "I discovered something," he told the interviewer. "Machines fail when small problems are ignored." "I think people do too." The interviewer smiled. "What would you repair first if you could change this country?" Arjun paused. "The confidence of young people." Silence filled the room. Then the interviewer asked quietly, "Why?" "Because people who believe in themselves eventually solve problems bigger than themselves." Weeks later, he received the job offer. Ironically, Success arrived only after it stopped being his obsession. But life never stops testing us. Soon his father became seriously ill. Hospital bills grew. Responsibilities multiplied. Fear returned. Old doubts whispered once again. Maybe everything had been temporary. Maybe he wasn't strong enough after all. Late one night, exhausted outside the hospital, he remembered something the old man had once said. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing purpose while fear walks beside you. Those words became his anchor. He continued working, continued learning, continued caring for his family, not because life became easier, because he became stronger. Strength doesn't eliminate storms. It teaches you how to stand inside them. Years passed. Arjun returned to the same railway station where everything had begun. This time, he wasn't carrying disappointment. He was carrying notebooks filled with ideas for helping rural students learn science through simple experiments. He searched for the old man. Nobody seemed to know him. One tea seller finally smiled. Many young people ask about him. Where is he? The tea seller pointed toward the departing trains. He never stayed long. He believed his job wasn't to build followers. It was to awaken builders. Arjun looked down at the same platform where that newspaper had once landed. He finally understood. Some people enter your life not to give you answers, but to remind you that you've had the answers within you all along. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to rescue your future. A better economy, a better boss, a better government, a better family, a better opportunity. Those things matter. But history repeatedly shows something remarkable. The greatest revolutions begin quietly inside ordinary minds. Before a nation changes, someone changes themselves. Before innovation appears, curiosity returns. Before confidence grows, one promise is kept. Before hope spreads, one person refuses to surrender. Never underestimate what one disciplined human being can inspire. Your habits influence your family. Your family influences your community. Communities shape cities. Cities strengthen nations. Every transformation begins with someone deciding, it starts with me. If you feel lost today, remember this. You are not behind. You are becoming. If you feel ordinary, remember this. Every extraordinary life once looked completely ordinary. If you failed repeatedly, remember this. Failure isn't proof that your story is over. Sometimes it's simply life removing everything that doesn't belong in your future. If you've been doubting yourself, ask one question. What if the voice telling me I can't has been wrong all along? Imagine what becomes possible the day you stop arguing for your limitations and start working toward your potential. Imagine what happens when millions of young minds stop asking, what can my country do for me? And begin asking, what can I build, solve, improve, and contribute? That is how civilizations rise. Not through miracles, through awakened minds, through honest work, through courage repeated every day, through people who understand that character is more valuable than comfort, purpose is stronger than fear, and hope is most powerful when it becomes action. Tonight, before you sleep, don't think about everything you haven't achieved. Think about one promise you can keep tomorrow. Wake up a little earlier. Read one chapter. Learn one new skill. Help one person. Finish one task you've been avoiding. Speak one kind word. Take one brave step. Small actions repeated with sincerity become the architecture of remarkable lives. One day, you'll look back and realize your greatest achievement wasn't earning more money or collecting more titles. It was becoming someone your younger self would admire. And that is a success nobody can take away from you. Thank you for spending this time with Mindset Hub Tube. If this story touched your heart or changed the way you see yourself, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. And before you leave, tell us in the comments, what was the one lesson from today's journey that impacted you the most? Until next time, keep your mind ignited, keep your purpose alive, and never forget, The brightest future is built first inside the human heart.